The following video is being shared strictly for educational purposes. Do not attempt anything seen. If you suspect child abuse, call the police. CTPP is not responsible for anything in the content shared and bears no legal responsibility. As of July 2025, CTPP posts will be uploaded to the Interim Kid Protectors USA channel. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe.
How y'all doing? How y'all doing?
You put a score for it?
Yeah. Just thought we'd gotten lucky.
For sure, for sure.
What is PPO?
PPO?
It's on your shirt.
Like something like, it's like a non-profit that helps animals. For sure. Hey Doug, we got to talk to you about what's going on here, man. My name is Gordon. Sorry to meet you like this. Okay. I don't want nobody hearing. We're not here to hurt you, bro. We're filming. We brought a camera for safety reasons. I know we both kind of have cameras today. We should probably, of course, up to you, but we should probably go in your room. I mean, we're not here to hurt you, take any money from you, want anything from you, but we do need to talk about what happened because we got everything saved. How does that sound?
Good.
All right, let's go to
I
your.
actually would really like to,
Clear it up.
I would like to get some help.
That's why I'm kind of here today. Rather than, I think, trouble, I think you probably need some help.
I do.
All right, let's go to your room before, some idiot butts in, right? And, I figured you'd be prepared to be honest. And that's why I'm just giving you, just talk about it, you know what I mean?
Let's go to the pool, is that okay?
Oh, it's going to be echoey. I mean, I prefer, we're not here to take anything. We should probably just go in your room where nobody can really hear. Heading to your room, or? All right, let's go do it. So photography is like your job, though?
No, it's a hobby.
Oh, cool. You don't have to tell me where, but what do you do for work? Just curious.
Computers.
Oh, good shit. See, that's why I got the beer belly sitting down all day. Me too. All right. Well, obviously you know what I'm here to talk to you about, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. But I have a feeling you're probably just going to be honest, so I think we can just get it done together that way, huh?
Yeah, I just...
For sure. So before anything, how old is Ari?
She said she was 13.
Okay, I appreciate the honesty. Okay, so for anything you mentioned, you probably need help for this type of stuff. Okay, I'm willing to work with that because there are some people that are out to kidnap people, and obviously you're not in that camp. So I figured we can just.
I've never done anything like this.
Okay.
And it's funny. I had a therapy appointment a couple of weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I realized, I'm talking online, it's the fantasy, and I thought about killing the fantasy. And
Sure. So let's make this the worst and best day of your life. I think we can turn it around here. So
that'd be great.
let's do it. So
You never told me your name.
Gordon, sorry to meet you like this. Gordon Flowers.
I'm okay. What are y'all's names?
Peter.
Peter?
Nice to meet you. Juan Carlos.
Juan Carlos. Nice to meet you.
Yeah. So, I mean, we can kind of cut down to it. I mean, the plan B, the camera, all that's in there.
Yeah.
Okay. May I see the plan B, please?
Yeah.
Okay. Appreciate it. All right. All right.
Can I?
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously the camera stuff is in there.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
a photographer.
Okay, for sure. So, I mean, is the vibrator in there too?
Yeah. This is all stuff that I had
Okay,
for.
got it. So, I mean, obviously, I don't, if I thought anything would be forced today, I wouldn't be here talking to you, but I mean, was the plan kind of just consensual, whatever she wanted to happen today?
Actually, the plan was to tell her that I didn't want to, and I just wanted to take pictures because I've been feeling sick to my stomach for 2
Okay,
hours.
all right.
But I felt like I owed her not canceling and being a jerk because I didn't want to hurt her feelings.
Okay. So, pictures, I mean, what kind of pictures was the plan to take today?
Literally, like the things we said, I was going to let her change and go out there, or just in what she was in.
Okay, so just kind of up to her?
Yeah.
Okay, so anything from clothes to, y'all talked about some lewd photos too, would that?
I wasn't going to do that, no.
Okay, were you going to leave that up to her to do instead?
No, I was going to teach her how to pose and tell her that, the more we did this, the more I felt uncomfortable and sick to my stomach.
Okay.
And I was like, you know what, I'm going to go, but I have this, feeling of, you know what, if something like this happens, maybe I can admit that I don't want to be here, and I can talk to somebody about it, and
Right.
that's why.
Yeah, no, I don't think, like I said, I don't think you need trouble. I think probably some help for this because I know the online stuff, I mean, it's not hard to just see your name everywhere. That's has to have been going on for quite a few years at this point. So when did this online stuff kind of start for you, kind of indulging in this fantasy?
When I was 14.
Really?
Yeah.
Online?
Yeah.
How'd you get on 31 years ago?
CompuServe.
Where at?
CompuServe.
CompuServe? Okay. So what kind of came across your feed when you were 14?
I met a woman online who was in her 30s.
Oh, I see. So that kind of age gap thing. Okay. Got it. And then from there, you became the guy in your 30s, 40s, and then it's the kind of got flipped like that?
Yeah.
Okay. So when did younger ladies under 18 kind of start talking to you online? Like how many years ago was that?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Too long to...
Yeah.
Okay. Was it always Instagram, or if it's too long to remember, it had to be a while. I mean,
No.
what was first, like AOL, stuff like that?
Probably.
Okay. And basically just minors sexting you sexting minors for however many years at this point?
Just talking to people. I mean, half the time I just assumed they were not real.
Okay.
that-
Well, obviously the other half is what we're concerned about, right?
Right. Yeah.
Okay. So this has been going on probably, at least in your life, kind of north of 10 years, you think?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's really the internet kind of,
It is, and every once in a while I kill it.
yeah.
And I close everything down. I just, and it's just over and over. And I just, ugh.
You just kind of can't stop coming back to it in a way, or?
I've been thinking about it a lot. And I realized part of it is loneliness, and I think there was a thing in my head where nobody would ever love me or care about me.
So are they kind of more understanding of you think, like the younger ladies under 18?
I used to think that. Now I don't think that so much.
You used to think that, like how so?
I used to connect better, but as I've been in therapy, I've been getting, I don't feel that way anymore. I felt a connection, but I didn't. I guess it's hard to explain. Like, we were having this conversation, and I'm like, I feel connected, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't know. I was like, I'm sitting here thinking, like, I feel like I'm falling in love, and that's not going to work out. How is this going to work out? And, that's why I was like, you know what, I want to let somebody live their life and not,
For sure. So, out of all the younger ladies, I know you've talked to adults too, I mean, you even talked about that yourself. I mean, out of all the younger ladies that have talked to you online, who's been like, how old has been, like, because I'm curious about why they're online in the first place. Like, obviously, I'm not going to call you an angel here, but, there shouldn't be people, it takes two, you know what I mean? Now, who has more of the blame? I don't know, but it takes two, if you were just the only one texting, you wouldn't be here right now. So, just out of curiosity, who's like, what's been the youngest age to even message you online? Because I think it's just fascinating in a morbid way, like why they're even online,
Around that age.
13?
Yeah.
Around, so what, 11?
I don't think I've ever talked to anybody 11.
Okay.
Like 13.
13, 13, 12,
15,
14.
Mostly around 15, 16.
Mostly around 15, 16. Okay, so how many 12-year-olds, just curious?
Oh, like one or two, like over the years. It's not like...
Were they on Instagram, or were they on some other apps?
Whisper.
Ah, okay.
I think.
Insane how they even let them on that app.
Well, yeah, and again, who knows if they're real?
Sure.
And I realized that, like, so, how much information do you want?
I mean, talking to someone like you can kind of help me with the kind of quote unquote the real bad guys. You know what I mean?
So, I've been working in therapy. So one of the things that I learned was I have a lot of shame about sex.
Okay.
So when I was 3, a friend convinced me to run around naked with her.
Okay.
And I got yelled at that, and I got shamed. And that caused and then when I was like 6, we played doctor, I got caught, I got in trouble, right? And that shame got tied up in sex for me. And so for a long time, so like I had a girlfriend who was into BDSM, and so that was kind of attractive to me, but I didn't really want to do that. But it was like because kink is, taboo, it kind of did it for me,
Just so it's like kind of the excitement of something outside the norm in a way.
Yeah.
Okay.
But, I mean, the best sex I've ever had was like emotional connection, no kink, no shame, no nothing.
Right.
Two consensual adults.
Right, of course. So, I mean, it seems like bad or good, your whole childhood was kind of centered around sex in a way, like just opinions of it, you know what I mean? Like,
there was a lot, yeah.
Okay. So when you were 16, you mentioned on the phone how like this 12-year-old kind of played with you. Like, what happened with that?
Oh yeah, that was my sister's friend.
Okay.
And she just was flirting with me and everything, and
One thing led to another.
I never actually even touched her, like her privates or anything. Just I was kissing her, and she freaked out, and I freaked out. And,
Did anybody ever find out about that?
I've known her.
Oh, okay. Well, not that you know of, at least. Okay. Interesting. So online, with these younger ladies under 18, I mean, how often, how many do you think have talked to you over the years? Like, if you had to put a ballpark number, is it like thousands, hundreds, dozens, 1 or 2? I know it's not 1 or 2, but I'm just
Hundreds.
Hundreds. So just to get this straight, hundreds of these younger ladies under 18 have been online and actually have reached out to you, or you reach out to them? Okay. Out of those hundreds, I mean, what percentage of those conversations get sexual?
At least half.
Half. Okay.
I mean, because typically that's why they're talking, you know?
Right. Hormones going at that age and whatnot. Makes sense. So, how many of those? I mean, obviously, I think your penis picture was sent to Ari, right? Okay. It was.
Yeah, she
Okay.
asked for it.
Okay. So how many other times have there been like the consensual exchange of photos, or either you send your penis to one of them, or they send a picture to you, or something like that?
I very rarely send penis pics because nobody asks, and I don't want to inflict that on somebody. People send pictures, but I don't typically ask for them. You know.
So have they sent you? Have these like, younger ladies under 18 sent you unsolicited nudes before?
That has happened before, yeah.
Okay.
And I delete them. I don't typically hold on to them.
And how old were they? Like those, if you remember how old they were?
Usually in their teens.
Okay. So these 12-year-olds sent you them a couple times then, or?
No.
Okay.
No, usually like 15-year-old.
Okay.
Around that age.
15. Okay. And how many 13-year-olds have sent you kind of pics like that, either solicited, unsolicited, like?
Oh, I don't think anyone.
None.
Not that I remember.
Okay. So you said you've rarely sent your penis. So if half the conversations have gotten sexual with people like that, I mean, how many out of those, how many did you send your penis to, anything, if you had to guess? Like, how many girls have you sent it to?
Over the years?
Mhm.
I don't know, a couple dozen.
A couple dozen. Okay.
Yeah.
It's not too bad. Okay. So photography, when did you get into photography?
30 years ago.
30 years ago? When you were also 14, 15?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I normally just did landscapes and stuff.
Landscapes, like just taking pictures of nature and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Nice.
And then groups of people and stuff.
Nice.
I started doing portraits like a year ago.
Why did your marriage go south? You're such an interesting guy.
Why what?
Why did your marriage go south? You're like a very interesting guy.
She left.
Really?
She had BPD.
What's BBD?
I think it's bipolar disorder, but like something more.
Oh, okay.
She left. I had the kids.
So have you talked to her since?
Actually, I talked to her husband. He and I get along. She doesn't want to talk to me.
Damn, okay. Jeez Louise. So how's your relationship with your kids? Like, how do they think? Great. You all play like video games together?
Yeah.
What games?
Final Fantasy.
Final Fantasy. Well, this is your Final Fantasy right here, baby. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, that's a morbid thing to say. I'm just kidding. Okay, so Instagram, Telegram. Do you have like Whisper, Snapchat? I know you have. Well, obviously you have Whisper. I meant Wicker, Snapchat, Signal.
I actually deleted everything. I've never had Signal.
Okay.
I've got Telegram, but I actually, when my Instagram got canceled, I decided I'm just going to be done with it.
Done with what? Telegram?
Instagram.
Instagram?
Yeah, and yeah, I actually used Telegram to talk to a friend in Russia. That's why I even had Telegram. I don't.
Oh, okay. Friend in Russia. How old are they?
They're like in their 30s.
Okay. Male, female?
Female.
Female, okay. Is this like a group, or is this like a individual DM?
What?
Like the Russian chick?
Oh, that was just a friend I met when she lived here. And when Facebook got banned in Russia because of the war, she
Got it.
me on Telegram.
Got it. So what apps have like these younger ladies message you on? I mean, have any on Facebook at all?
No.
No. So obviously Instagram,
Yeah.
whatever chat rooms before that, Telegram.
Telegram very rarely. No, I don't. This is like. I think this is the first time I've used Telegram for something like this. Kik used to be a big one back in the day.
That they would message you on?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you still have Kik?
No.
Okay.
Again, I go through shame spirals and delete everything, and nothing happens, and then for a year or two, and then. Yeah.
So how on Kik do they even find you, or you find them?
There's like search engines for like messaging and stuff, and
Okay. Because I know a lot of the Kik groups, like if you put in that you're younger than 18, they kick you out immediately.
oh yeah, I don't know. It's usually just individual messaging.
They just find you? Okay. So, did you ever have a wicker?
Yes. Yes.
When did you still have that?
No.
When did you get rid of that?
A year or two now.
Okay. I know wicker's pretty rough with some stuff.
Yeah, I typically, with people on Whisper want to talk on Wicker, so that's what I use it for.
Got it. So how many younger ladies under 18 have kind of found you on Whisper before?
Oh, I have no idea.
Countless?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you ever like reveal yourself to them? Like, hey, it's me or anything like that?
Like send pictures?
Yeah, like say your name or anything like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Have any of them tried to meet you before?
They've talked about it, but, you know, I've either wussed out because I was like, I don't want to do this, or they have, you know, disappeared after a day of conversation.
Right.
A lot of people talk about this and they just want to get off. You know, they don't really want to do anything.
Sure. So you guys found each other on Instagram. So on Instagram, I mean, has it basically just been this type of content the whole time you've been on Instagram, or is
No. I mean, like, in fact, for a while I didn't do this, and then, you know, I talked to people about taking pictures, and then, you know, and I've had like up and up conversations and said, hey, if you're interested, here's, you know, bring your parents, let's do this thing, you know.
So you had Ari's mom sign a waiver. Okay. So you made this waiver for her, and basically just so, what was the point of the waiver?
The point of the waiver was to know that she was real and that we could actually take the pictures, and I almost insisted that her mother come. And I kind of, yeah.
Okay. So the conversation started on Insta. It got pretty escalated, I'd say. Point where even bikini. Do you have these right here? The bikinis?
Yeah.
Okay. May I see them, please? All right. Appreciate it. Appreciate how open and honest you are, man. I think that's truly the way we can get you some help. Black and pink. Stan black pink. Interesting. Okay.
Well, if she wanted.
Yeah, absolutely. So I assume, like, if she wanted to take pictures in those, that would have happened.
Oh yeah.
Okay, that's fair. Okay, so you mentioned kind of that there's an attraction that kind of built up with her. That kind of, how did that? I mean, did you kind of fall in love a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay. So what was the plan with that? I mean, how did you want to express that to her?
It's funny, I was thinking about that. I think I wanted to express it by sitting her down and telling her, look, the best thing I can do for you is to not do this. And I know you're interested, and if you're still interested, you know, when you're of legal age, we can do that.
Okay. So this is, yeah, I think you showed her your penis a few times on video call, and you sent this picture to her. Okay, got it. Did she ever send you a nude back?
No.
Okay, was she ever asked for one?
No.
Okay. Just, there's my cock getting hard for you. I looked at your pictures and stroked it. So how many times did that happen throughout the course of the conversation where, you know, I'm kind of bored and lonely and you just kind of stroke it to her?
A fair amount.
Fair amount. Like, how often? Every day?
I don't know about every day, but
A couple times a week?
yeah.
Okay. So obviously, you know, we're all guys here. I mean, everybody stroked their penis before to something that turns them on. I mean, what were you imagining when you would stroke it? I mean, I know you just weren't looking at a picture of her face and just thinking that the whole time. What were you thinking?
I was thinking about the intimacy of having somebody who cared about me.
Like the intimacy, how?
honestly, like hugs and kisses.
Uh-huh.
I
All right, we're all guys here. It's okay. It's okay. I mean, none of us are. I mean, you're not here to judge him for anything, are you? I mean, we're not here to judge you, man.
Yeah.
But obviously, if you tell us you want help, I mean, it involves kind of laying it all out. Because I mean, at this point, like, if you thought we were gonna judge you or do anything, we would have already. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like, what were you really thinking about? I mean, we're all guys here.
I was thinking about, honestly, just like touching, but
Like in the intimate spots.
yeah.
Okay, like the erogenous zones. Okay. So you're kind of like a lovey-dovey type of guy.
Yeah.
That's fair. I may not look like that, but I am too.
You seem quite nice.
I'm a very nice guy. You are nice too.
I appreciate your approach.
Well, absolutely. I mean, if you were here, if you came in that pickup truck over there and said, get in the car, I mean, would it be the same approach, obviously? You know what I mean? So, I respect it. So, one thing I got to ask, Doug, and because this is obviously important because, I also don't want you running with the wrong crowd, right? Just like I don't want, kids online running with the wrong crowd, I don't want you running with the wrong
I
crowd.
don't talk to other people about this, if that was your question.
No, I got you.
I have, sorry, go ahead.
But on Instagram, the way we kind of saw your account activity, I mean, there's pages on Instagram, they're like cheese pizza, cheese pizza, cheese pizza. You know what that stands for, right?
Yes.
Okay, what does that stand for?
Child porn.
Okay. And we go to the like section and we see, Billy Bob from Kentucky liking the photos. We see, Abdul whatever from India liking the photos. Then we see normal Doug Noel liking the photos too. So how long has these pizza pages kind of been advertised to you?
Since I got on Instagram, so like the last, few months.
Okay.
And it was more about the shame than the interest. Like,
So shame is kind of a kink for you.
I think so.
Okay. That makes sense.
Because I don't really find girls that young attractive. If they're not developed, it's not.
Well, there's something attractive about it, whether it's the appearance, the shame. Okay. I got it. So obviously, Wicker, Telegram, cheese pizza page on Instagram. I'm not a stupido. I care about your well-being, which is why I'm willing to talk to you about it. But like, obviously, I know how that goes. Okay. So you find the pizza pages, they find you. Then you have Telegram Wicker. What happened?
Oh, I did not talk to them on Telegram or Wicker.
Okay.
There were a couple of pages where I would follow these things where they would send out
Send out what?
just groups of stuff, but not non-news.
Groups. So what would these groups be like?
It would just be somebody said, oh, follow me, and then here's my Telegram group, and you click it, and there's a group of people.
Okay. And these were pizza pages doing that?
I don't know if it was pizza pages. I would follow them, and then I would unfollow them, and I would like, and then I would unlike. I was
All over the place with that?
all over the place with all of them.
Okay.
I don't.
All right. So
I've been feeling like throwing up for 2 hours.
For sure.
3 hours now.
For sure. So what I'm kind of getting at here is I think the internet's pulling you into a place that you don't or you shouldn't want to be in. Mm-hmm. So I kind of got to figure out you're liking these pages, they're sending groups to you, whatever. I mean, I'm not. As soon as you said Russian on Telegram, I know exactly what it is.
Oh, no. It was she's a veterinarian. I met her.
Okay.
I met her socially.
I got it. I got you. Okay.
Right. That is not the same thing.
Right. Okay. But Telegram groups of obviously, I don't know Wicker groups. I don't know if they're on Wicker and Telegram. I heard Wicker's worse for that type of stuff.
I'm not. Other than the ones I clicked on, I don't want to talk to other guys about this.
Right.
I don't.
Other than the ones you clicked on. Okay. So you click on those groups. What do you see?
Mainly links to other Instagram pages and stuff, and then sometimes like buy, like you can click to like join a group and pay, and I haven't done that.
Okay. So how many times on Telegram, whether you knew what it was or not, have you found yourself in a group where it's like showing some stuff you didn't want to see or you shouldn't be seeing, stuff like that? Because I think you can kind of help me figure out what's going on Telegram, because...
I mean, there was no nudes.
Okay.
And I mean, I would click on it and then I would ignore it because it didn't interest me. It wasn't what I wanted.
So,
what I want is a connection.
Okay.
I've been seeking connection.
Okay, and you can't really find that through random pictures. Okay. So they weren't nude, so what were they?
Just like girls in bathing suits or
Okay.
whatever, or like, like people sticking their butts up in the air, that kind of stuff.
Just doing like
or feet pics.
like provocative type stuff. Okay. And what would you say the average age of the girls were in those pictures?
I mean, some of them like looked like adults. Some of them looked like teenagers of like 15, something like that.
Okay. And how young did they go sometimes?
Well, I think there were some in like bathing suits who were like they looked like they were on prepubescent, but
like 9, 10 maybe.
Yeah, but
Okay.
Again, that was not a thing.
Okay. So if I felt it was a thing that interested you, I'd be more worried about it. But kind of, it doesn't get PG rated on, because you can see those things on Instagram too. They're everywhere. It doesn't get suddenly. Telegram is not the same as Instagram. There's a reason. If it was the same as Instagram, you would just be on Instagram, or they would be talking about Instagram groups or whatever. Look, if I thought you were seeking out nude photos of that type of stuff, I wouldn't be talking to you. Okay, we're not here to judge you. And obviously, if you've been at this for 10 years, of course you've seeked out nude photos of this type of stuff before. Duh. I mean, you've been at this for 10 years. It's impossible not to. Your fault? No. But circumstance? Absolutely. Okay. How many times did it happen? Truly, how many times did that happen where you're kind of looking for that stuff?
I just go through cycles of, it's especially, like I'm not in a relationship, when I'm in a relationship, I don't do this kind of stuff.
So it's really the connection that kind of pulls you away from that. Okay. Okay.
And it's like, I realized I'm always looking for connection.
Okay. And sometimes it's veered off into pizza stuff that shouldn't have sometimes, or?
I mean, that was just stuff that was on Instagram, and I was looking to talk to people, or like, and I was,
I know, but you just told me that you've looked, unless we're talking about different things here, you just told me that you've seeked out, these images of younger people naked.
No.
Oh, no?
No, I'm sorry, I miscommunicated.
Okay.
Instagram starts recommending those things too.
Yeah, I know the algorithms suck.
And so I would see those and I would follow them because, I woke up in the morning, I'm jerking off, and I'm like, oh, this is a shame. And then I would feel awful afterwards, and I would unfollow and delete and all this stuff.
So how many times have these pages, these pizza pages, or just on any app, have they sent you like images of? Because I know, like, obviously the girls themselves send you some nudes of themselves, and that's more of a connection thing than a pervert thing. But how many of these adults have sent you images of kids like that?
Oh, I don't think that's ever happened on Instagram.
Okay, what apps has that happened on?
And Kink, people used to want to do that kind of stuff.
Like trade?
Yeah, they would want to like send pictures or whatever.
What would they send you?
They would send all sorts of weird shit. Like dogs fucking people and like, all these kinks, and they want to know. God.
Any stuff like dogs and kids that they made you see?
I never saw anything like that.
Okay, so the stuff with kids, what were they sending you of that type of stuff?
A lot of non-nudes, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe this is where, I remember when I was 14, there was porn on CompuServe and AOL, and it would be like pictures of, I'm pretty sure, girls from Russia, and it was like girls my age.
Right.
But I would still see those pictures, and it would be these girls, and, then it would be like, somebody who's now I knew was like in their 30s or 40s, you know, but when they were younger, you know.
But it would be a picture of them from when they were that age or something?
Yeah, but it's like,
Okay.
you know, like
They would show you that on Kik?
they're wearing a bathing suit.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I think that was a Kik thing, you know, but it would be like pulled up so you could kind of see the lips of their labia.
Okay. Like their pussy lips?
Yeah.
Okay. So how many times have they sent you like a maybe like a nipple pic of one of these underage girls, or like a full vagina pic, or just a full nude? How many times has that happened?
Oh, I don't know. If people were going to send that, it was typically like naturists and nudists pictures, you know?
Okay. So it's typically more just like kind of poses and stuff like
Yeah.
that? Okay. So how many times has it been full blown, like they're having sex with somebody?
No, it's not
Oh, I'm not saying you were into that. I'm just saying I know people on Kik are fucking
No,
psycho.
Well, it never escalated to that, is what I'm saying. Like,
Okay.
people were typically very careful,
Uh-huh.
right? So if you were like, it's not for me, they would stop. Yeah.
Okay. So these nudist pictures, I mean, how low would those go? If you had to guess.
Oh, yeah, all ages.
Like 5, 6?
Yeah, I mean, it was just families.
Okay.
You know, it was pictures of families on nude beaches.
Okay. But obviously, like, the emphasis is on the kid when they're sending that to you.
Yeah.
Okay. So why on earth are they sending you pictures of like a 5 and 6-year-old kid, like naked in any type of way?
Well, they were sending pictures hoping that I would have pictures, and so they'll send those because they're technically, you know, they got them off some legal site, and they'll be like, hey, do you have stuff like this? And I'm like, no. And they're like, oh, okay.
Oh, got it. So how many times did a trade actually go down?
I typically don't trade a lot.
Oh, I know you don't do it a lot, because if you did it, we know traders even in this state who do it a lot, and you're not associated with them. But I know you don't do it a lot. How many times did it happen is what I'm asking.
Over the years, you know, I would take stuff and send it to other people, hoping that they would, you know, send me something I could get off to.
Okay, so what did you send them?
Whatever they asked for. If somebody else had sent me something,
Okay.
then I would delete it all.
Okay, so just to use this term here, people have sent you child porn, you've sent other people child porn that you've forwarded people, just kind of over the years. Or I'm sorry, nudes of kids.
No, it's like they would send me like they would send me like the naturist pics.
Okay.
And I would send that to somebody, you know.
Okay.
But it would be like some girl wanted a connection, and I would be like, oh, well, this person sent a naturist pic here. If you like this, cool, and then we can have a connection. So it wasn't that they were sending me that; it was that, you know, I wanted connection.
So the naturist pics of these girls naked, were the girls themselves sending that to you, or?
No, it was some dude would send it to me, and I'm like, look, I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to try, you know. And then a girl would say, you know, hey, you know, I like this, and who knows if they were actually a girl, you know.
Okay.
But I would be like, well, I've got these naturist pics. If that's the thing that you want.
Were they claiming to also be underage, that girl? Or those girls?
Not always, no.
Not always. How often, like?
Honestly, half the time at least.
Okay.
They're not underage. Or
Okay.
They say they're not underage.
Okay.
You know.
So half the times they're not, half the times they are.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're talking about when they were kids.
Got it.
You know, and they're trying to relive whatever. And
So the conversation's kind of always focused about the youth. Seems like y'all are both kind of trauma dumping on each other in a way.
yeah, definitely.
Oh my gosh, okay. So I'm kind of have a background here now. So obviously the conversation with Ari was so cordial at first, like it was just about photos and innocent shit like that. Then it got, of course, I think we both agree, kind of very sexual in a way.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. So here you said, I think it's hot that you are so young and interested in sex. She says, oh, and you said, I'm old enough to be your dad and I'm teaching you, so it's like forbidden and naughty. So there's a taboo again. Okay. I think those phrases have been said by you countless times to people that have been too young. Okay. So you've dropped the, I think it's hot you're this young and into this stuff line a lot of times.
Well, it started with girls saying that to me.
Then,
And then I was like, oh. You know, and again, it was the online conversation.
Sure.
It was that I was attractive and wanted.
Okay. When's the last time you had any physical touching happen to you, like with an adult?
Last April.
Last April, so it's been over a year?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think I'm kind of getting a background on why you're here right now. So, I said our age difference turns me on, and you said you're my little secret. So pretty much, I mean, explaining your whole taboos, to me, it's like the same thing on paper. I mean, you've been honest about that. And I think a lot of this here today was to fulfill a taboo of yours, or to do something like, fulfill a fantasy or something like that. So you said here on the phone that obviously the photos were innocent at first, but then it talked about some stuff. I mean, basically it was said, you want to take a photo posing with my dick inside of you. Okay. Pose with you sucking my cock. And you said you talked to a girl in Whisper about sex when she was 13.
Yeah, I talked to a woman who was like
Yeah.
in her 30s. And
Okay.
said that, you know, because I was looking, for
Reassurance?
reassurance.
Okay.
Yeah, because I felt awful.
Of course. And you said here, age of consent is okay as long as all parties agree. This is what you said on the phone.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think you meant a 5-year-old or a 4-year-old. Okay. Look, I'm not saying a teenager. I'm not saying Ari's a grown woman. Duh. But she's also not a kid. Okay. So, look, man. If we're gonna kind of get to the bottom of this, I mean, I don't want to embarrass you and read everything you said, play back the calls, all of that type of stuff. I think we can be a little bit more honest, and
Do you know of a group of like people I can talk to?
I think we can get you some help. Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, I'm glad we had the conversation kind of before the messages, kind of talk about your background and why you're here, basically. Not what you're sorry, but I think your whole 45 years led up to you being here. Okay? The shame thing, all of that type of stuff. Not having anything since April is a big one. I mean, you're a guy, I'm a guy. We're all guys here, okay? But, look, that bag, you didn't have to pack a Plan B pill. You didn't have to bring a camera, okay?
Well,
Just,
no.
well, the camera you had to bring.
I did intend to take real photos.
I understand that. But,
You're right, I didn't have to. I had it.
right,
said I bought it.
well, the camera, right.
No, this was back from April. I just,
Okay.
I got that, and then the relationship ended, and that was with a consenting adult.
So you also explained on the phone what ejaculate is. You said I can get in trouble for having pictures of a 13-year-old or having sex with one. You said I want to take photos as you grow up. So this was a thing you wanted to happen for as long as possible.
I fantasized about a relationship, yeah.
Okay.
And then, as I was sitting here thinking, I was like, the last couple of days I've just been thinking about, like, that's not what I want. Like,
Yeah.
I want something with someone that I care about and is an adult and can give me adult things,
Yeah, well, I mean, you obviously did care about her, which I appreciate more than you just think of her as an object. But I mean, I don't want to have to play back all the calls, man. I mean,
No, it's fine.
Right.
What are you getting at? I mean,
I'm getting at
I don't know what
I'm
your-
getting
what
at
your
we
end
I'm
is.
getting at we need to be a little bit more honest about kind of with the plan today, okay? Because the Plan B pill, yeah, okay. Do you have it since April? Okay, didn't have to be in that bag. The bikini.
You're right. It didn't
Okay,
have to be in
so
that bag.
so let's be honest. You said the age of consent is okay as long as all parties agree to it. I'm not going to disagree with that. I don't think it's.
I said that because I was trying to make myself feel okay about it.
Okay, so I didn't think you'd follow through with it until you said one thing, which is the conversation with the lady on Whisper about when she was 13.
Wow.
That's what put in my mind that okay, this is serious for him.
It's funny. until I had that conversation, I think I don't know.
Yeah,
I was gonna just kill all contact.
That's what I think too, and I think that taboo. Of course, you're nervous, but I think the taboo also bred excitement too. You know, there's a reason we waited for y'all to get in the elevator and go.
Yeah, you know, I came here because I was like, you know what, maybe this will just, worst case, maybe somebody will talk to me and help.
Okay. Yeah, I agree, man. But also, I mean, let's not deny the obvious reality here. Because of the conversation with that lady on Whisper, I think your plan today, because the whole time you were like, if you're uncomfortable, tell me. If you're uncomfortable, tell me. You gave her that out, which I think is more than fair. And that's why I think all of this stuff in the messages, such as taking a photo of whatever poses y'all talked about, having consensual sex, that's why well, I know it would have happened today, because
I understand that I understand what you saw and heard, and I'm not denying that.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm saying is I have been sick to my stomach for 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And I couldn't go through with it. And I was like, hey, let's go talk. I was like, yeah, like...
I had a feeling that something like that was going to be said, but that went out the window when you're on the elevator leading her to your room. Okay?
Oh.
Yeah, there's a reason why we kind of let things play out in a way, so all doubts removed. Hey, man, I'm not here... I promise you, man, I'm not here to judge you. Okay, if this was like an 11-year-old, if this was a 9-year-old, 5-year-old, yeah, that's a different ball game. But this is a teenager, okay? Now, is she a 30-year-old woman? No, obviously not. But there's a reason I asked you what's happened the past 10 years, because this has been a thing for you the past 10 years, a fantasy, all of this type of stuff, and it's finally been getting to play it out. I fantasize about being in Las Vegas eating at a buffet right now, and if there was buffet food in front of me, I'd be eating it, because fantasy is something you want to happen. Straight up. So let me just tell you this, Doug. Let me just tell you this. Let's get the truth out, because obviously I know you weren't going to force yourself. That's why I'm talking to you. Okay? But maybe not sex all the way, but you need to tell me what you would have been okay with. Maybe would she have to have had initiate everything? Was that really your plan, or what? Because I know no guy travels an hour to go meet a girl after talking sexual, then sits and talk. I mean, I'm a guy. We're all guys here. I've met girls off the internet. If you told me you got head yesterday from a woman, I'd believe you. But it's been a year, man. It's been a year. And I think that's a big part of it, too. I don't think it's the fact she's 13. I think it's the fact that there's a connection, there's some type of taboo kink, and you just haven't had it in a year. Let's be honest.
I wanted to hold her hand and I wanted to kiss her.
Okay.
But again, even that, I was just like...
Well, let me ask you this. You wanted to hold your hand, you wanted to kiss her. Okay. Would you, anything past that, would you have left that up to her, as in she might have had to initiate it?
I haven't been able to get it up for a day and a half. I get horny, but it won't get hard. And I think that is because I had this problem before, and it was in a relationship, and since I didn't want to have sex, and I was realizing that I did not want to do this. But I thought maybe we could take the pictures, the normal pictures, and then because she was like, I really want to take, the normal modeling pictures, and I was like, okay, well, I'll do that for her.
Okay, but and of course I don't doubt that. And like I said, if she was uncomfortable with something, I don't think for 1 second you would have proceeded with anything.
Yeah.
But you said you wanted to play with lighting. You said you wanted to pose with my dick inside you, pose with you sucking my cock. You said you want her on her hands and knees from behind looking at the camera so I can see your pussy and your beautiful face. Did she bring that up, or did you bring that up? Did she tell you she wants to get on all fours and look at you like that?
No, she asked me what kind of poses we would do.
Okay.
And so I was coming up with stuff.
Okay.
Because I went and looked at pictures of like, I went to an OnlyFans and looked up things that they were doing on the OnlyFans to come up with ideas.
Okay. So, again, but those ideas were sexual, and I think that was on your end. They were brought up.
Those ideas were sexual.
Okay.
And, yeah.
Okay. So you wanted to hold her hand and kiss her. I mean, like I said, I've never been in a situation where it only stops at that if both parties are consenting. I've had girls push me off before, and I've stopped. My question is, obviously, you don't need a hard dick for a lot of things. You don't need a hard dick to take photos. You don't need a hard dick to,
Yeah, but, I know. I can only tell you what was going on in my brain.
Okay.
And I understand that this is clearly a thing that you deal with a lot.
Yeah, I know you can only tell me what's going on in your brain. But the reason I'm still talking to you is because I know everything would have been just consensual. But you need to tell me how far it would have actually gone, if she was willing. Would it have gone all the way to sex? Would it have just been, touching in some ways, posing nude, stuff like that? Because, obviously, if it was just kissing and holding hands, I mean, that's just... Obviously, that would have happened here in the hotel room, unless you were just asking for someone to see you in the pool doing that.
No, yeah.
Okay. Doug, it's at some point, man, there's a reason you brought the Plan B pill. The whole train ride, you could have chucked it in the garbage. You could have done anything. You knew you had it the whole time. You're the one that, I think yesterday you showed a picture of the vibrator?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was yesterday. That was in the same time span you said your dick can't get hard. So you brought a vibrator.
Yeah.
Okay. The vibrator wasn't sitting in your bag. And if it was, you took it out and showed it to her, just like you did the Plan B pill and the bikinis. So, look, man, look. Doug, I know this is hard to talk about, but
I honestly don't know.
Okay. Would you have left it up to her to do any of this stuff?
I would have left it up to her, and I might have said no.
You might have said no. Okay.
Yeah, because that's how I was feeling.
What things were you going to leave up to her that you might have said no to? Were there some definite no's and some maybe no's, or was everything a possibility today?
Oh, for me? Or for her?
Like, if she was wanting to do all of this stuff, were there definite no's for you, or was everything a possibility, like up to sex?
I think that there were... I don't know. And I think... As soon as I saw her face, I was like, I have to let her down. That was my thought.
No, you were smiling the whole time.
I was.
You were smiling.
I said hi.
Doug, if there was something you were going to tell her, you would have said, hey, I got to talk to you about something when we get to the room. You never said that. We were listening to the whole thing.
No, you're right.
We were listening to the whole thing. Look, you don't look any more worse if you just be honest. The whole beating around the bush, honestly, bullshit. Because you were so honest about everything else. But you don't dabble in the world of child porn for 10 years. You don't talk to hundreds of girls online. That's some taboo fantasy.
I wanted a girlfriend, and I realized that this was not the way to go about
You
it.
realize that when we're talking to you. You were smiling. You look like me when I freaking get surprised with a birthday cake and a freaking 40-ounce steak. You look so happy, Doug. There's a reason why I didn't just knock on your door and say, hey man, I got to talk to you. Mm-hmm. There's a reason. Oh, he's smiling. Oh, he's in the elevator with her. Oh, you were looking at me weird when I was getting off on the second floor with you guys. You were like, oh shit. Oh man. Doug, the thing is, like, it doesn't matter what you say to me. I just want to make sure we're on the same page with the truth and with what you're saying. And it's kind of different right now. You know what I mean? I mean, you don't bring a Plan B pill. You don't bring a Plan B pill for hugging and kissing. Now, if you can get someone pregnant by kissing, I mean, give me your tips and tricks.
Sure, I guess we would be pregnant together.
Oh, yeah. If you can get someone pregnant by kissing, I mean, tell me. I mean, I'd freaking donate you to science right now, if you could do that. A vibrator? Vibrator what? Like for her back or something? Like a little massage, sports massage? I mean, man, you were smiling. Doug, before I had my girlfriend, I haven't had anything in probably a year. First time me and her did something together, I was smiling like that too. Like, I'm not gonna shame you for your taboo or kink. We all have kinks, right? I'm into some stuff you're not into, you're into some stuff I'm not into. It is what it is, okay?
Sorry,
I know. And again,
I'm gonna throw up.
I got you, because the truth is setting in for you about what was actually gonna happen, man. Look, I don't think you're a bad person, okay? Even if you tell me right now I was going to drive off with her and escape into Neverland, I wouldn't think you're a bad person. I know you weren't going to do that. But we need to be a little bit more truthful here, man. I mean, you said yourself, reach back and spread your pussy for me. You want to take a photo with your dick inside her butt. That isn't a good or bad thing. It's just something. But you understand how you have a Plan B pill and you're telling me it was only going to be like kissing and holding hands? How is that even practical? You don't go into bed and kiss and hold hands?
You've never had a regret?
You're going to sit like this? Like, you haven't had a regret? Of course I've had a regret. I've had lots of regrets, And the thing is, if... I'm going to go back to the conversation you had on Whisper with that lady. That's what made it for real for you. That's what made you want to do it. Because I get talk is talk, but after that conversation with that lady, action is action. Did that lady ever send you a picture of herself?
No.
No?
I don't remember.
No. Okay. Well, Doug, I hate to break this to you. There's a lot of things that I go through to make sure that someone's for real when they say they're for real. Okay? You're not hard to find on Whisper. I know it's anonymous, but it's not. It's fucking this bullshit app. One of our guys was the lady talking to you.
Huh.
Okay. The reason we had that conversation with you was to get...
Encourage me?
She encouraged you. Is that what you're saying?
I'm asking, is that the point was to encourage me?
It's to gauge whether you were for real or not. So what I have is the chat with that lady, the Plan B pill, the bikinis, the smile going up the elevator, you being here. Every single phone call got sexual. Just be honest, man. It's okay. At this point, everything around we've known about, okay? Just be honest about what was going to happen. Okay. If she was okay with it.
Even if she was okay with it, I don't know that I was okay with it.
You were, of course you were okay with it. You're the one that brought it up the whole time.
You're right, I'm here.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay. Was there anything that was truly a definite no today, or was it truly all going to kind of be up to her?
I don't think I could have sex with her.
Okay. What do you think practically could have happened today? Be as honest as possible, man. I know it's hard to talk about, but you're talking to the right guy about it. Talking to someone that actually gives a fuck, Pictures, other stuff. What could have possibly happened today, truly?
Lots could have happened. What I think was going to happen was, I was like, I don't want pictures. I don't want to hold on to it. I don't want to have it. I don't want to, like.
Well, it's not about holding on to it or having it. It's about taking them.
Well, right. No, I didn't want to take. I didn't.
But you have the bikini.
No, normal pictures.
Okay.
Normal
well, every
pictures.
time the conversation about normal pictures came up, again, spread with your pussy for me.
She said, "What are you going to do with? What kind of nudes do you want to take?"
She didn't say that.
She didn't.
What kind of nudes do you want to take?
She said, "How am I going to pose with the nude pictures?"
Okay. Well, you brought up nudes in the first place. She never asked you to take nudes. She was obviously, and how many times on the phone did you say, and that's another thing, because you were polite about it, which I respect actually. You said, I want to make sure this is okay with you. Is this okay with you? Is this okay with you? You were the one excited about this. She was kind of like, okay.
Right. And that's why I was like, I don't.
But she didn't say, she wasn't.
I was not gonna.
You weren't gonna what?
I said I wasn't gonna force anything.
Okay.
I said enthusiastic consent, and I didn't think that she was gonna want to do any of this when she got here. And so I thought we were gonna take some normal pictures.
Okay. So.
But you're right. I had all the stuff.
Okay. So obviously it's okay. You didn't think she wanted to. Okay. But if she wanted to do it, how far would you have gone with her if she wanted to do this stuff? Be honest, because I was the one talking to you as the lady online. I saw what you said. I saw what was said. I saw what was said. I saw how enthusiastic you were, how you were probing about, is this okay or not? You had to reassure yourself a lot. Okay, I know this is a first for you, but this is a first after 10 years of this finally becoming a reality. So if she was, provided she was okay with everything up to sex, what do you think actually she would have done with you? If you were, what do you think could have happened? Kissing, holding hands, what else? Okay. Again, I'm going to ask, was there any definite no's on what was going to happen?
For me?
Mm-hmm. Is there something you were straight up going to refuse, or were you kind of going to be okay with everything if she really gave you enthusiastic consent? I mean, I think we all know the answer to that, but I just want to make sure we're on the same page, truly.
I mean, fuck, my mouth is so dry.
You're good.
What I was thinking about on the way up here was, I don't want to do this with somebody that I've just met. And if this was something that she wanted to do, she would wait. And I realized that it doesn't look that way.
That's funny, you never communicated that with her, nor did she with you.
Because I was thinking about it on the way up. And I was afraid if I texted that I wouldn't be able to communicate it well, and I thought.
Doug, well, you have communicated that before. You said yourself, what if you just have someone to take care of you? You remember saying that? What if we don't do anything sexual? You said this like a week ago. And she's like, okay, that's fine. Who got it sexual again?
Maybe because I got horny in the morning.
But it wasn't horny in the morning. It was horny at night.
It was horny at night.
It was horny last night. Yeah. Last night you showed her the vibrator.
Yeah, I got horny.
Yeah, I think you were horny here too. You were smiling. You were excited to see she was real and that she was coming up the elevator with you.
I was nervous as fuck.
I know you were nervous as fuck. But nervous doesn't mean lack of excitement. Nervous just means risky and daring. I'm nervous riding roller coasters.
I know what you want to hear, but this is where my brain is. Like, I don't know.
Well, it's not about what I want to hear. It's about it's straight up just about the truth. I mean, I've never seen anything like this where a Plan B pill is brought and there was nothing sexual you wanted to do. That just doesn't make any sense. It just, Doug, I mean, I get you're smiling, but I mean, it just doesn't, it's just crazy because we could be on the same page about so many other things except for this girl you claim to love. Because the thing is, Doug, this wouldn't have happened if you didn't love her. I believe it's a connection thing with you. I don't think it's because she was 13, okay? I think that's kind of irrelevant to this whole thing happening. I think it's just about you wanting to have a connection with somebody, have sexual things happen for the first time in a year. I know this photo stuff has always been a fantasy to you. Taking photos like that. Fuck, I would love to do something like that with a woman too. Her being 13 secondary, it's the fact she cared about you and you cared about her. But you're doing a disservice to everybody when the full truth isn't being said, because you claim you want help for this, but we're not even digging at the full truth here. Truly, what would have happened if would she have had to initiate all of this stuff?
Yeah.
Is that how it could have happened?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I don't know that I would have been able to go through with sex.
Okay, what stuff do you think you could have been able to go through?
Again, the kissing.
Okay, so there's just kissing and sex, there's nothing in between?
I mean, obviously there's other things in between, but I honestly don't know that I would have been able to touch her sexually. And
Well, my thing is, what if she wanted it? Like you said on the phone. What if she gave you enthusiastic consent? What if she was the one that wanted this stuff? Because I know you would have suggested it to her because you were smiling up the elevator.
Enthusiastic consent requires it to go both ways. And you're right, I was smiling, but I was... I don't know.
You were nervous and excited. You were anxious.
I was very anxious.
Okay.
I was gonna throw up. I was so anxious.
This smile isn't the look of a throw up, dog.
I realized that's what it looks like, and I was happy to see her because I like her. Mm-hmm. But
you were happy to see someone you had a bond with, dog.
I wasn't. Yeah.
Okay, so do I think you were gonna impregnate her? No. But come on, man. Kissing and hugging?
Yeah.
Okay. I've never hugged and kissed a girl I have a connection with and it stays at that. I'm not saying I have sex every day, but...
I understand that. I move really slow with everybody. And this was moving really fast for me. And I realized that a lot of that was coming from me being horny. But in the moment, I was like, this is...
Well, I get the horny thing, but these messages happen throughout a course of a month. So there was times where you weren't horny messaging sexually. So throw that crap out the window, because it's bullshit. I don't understand how you can be so honest about some things and then just straight up just say it was only going to be hugging and kissing. I've never gotten a hotel room with any female to hug and kiss. Doug, we're talking about a female here. We're not talking about a 13-year-old.
I've been in hotel rooms with females where nothing has happened, even though we talked about things.
No, you haven't. Who? Where? When was this?
When?
Yeah.
The woman I met that I told you about, the woman that I was with in April, we kissed, we made out, and we didn't do anything else.
You said the last thing something sexual happened to you was in April.
No, I'm saying the first time we met.
Okay.
That's all that happened. And that whole weekend, that's all we did, is make out. And then I came back a couple weeks later for sex.
How many times did she show your penis? Did she see your penis before y'all met?
She didn't.
Oh, okay.
We met in public.
Okay.
I flirted with her and...
Okay. So it's a different situation then, because Ari has seen your penis. Ari has heard all of your sexual fantasies. I mean, you trauma dumped on her, as she did with you, I'm sure. But Doug, I'm going to say again, we saw the steps of reassurance you took with the conversation with me on Whisper, all of that type of stuff. We saw it all. We saw it all happen.
Okay.
Why can't we be on the same page with this? Is it a shame thing that you just don't want to tell the truth, or? Because you're saying hug and kiss, Maybe I'm throwing out sex. The truth is probably somewhere in the middle. I mean, truly, if she initiated some stuff, what do you think you could have been okay with today? A vibrator, you have the bikinis, you have the camera. I'm not saying you would have kept nude photos of her, but taken them? Oh, absolutely. But you said on the phone yourself you would have deleted them, or you would delete them. This was your chance to live out a fantasy. And I think it would have been lived out almost to the full extent, if not the full extent.
I get that. I get that that's...
Well, of course you get it, because you know it's the truth. But I just don't know how you can say you want help, then not just tell the truth.
I thought I was so close to just being like done, and I was, a few weeks ago I was like, no, what, we can't do this, and then I came back around.
Do you think we intentionally came late here at 4?
Yes,
Okay.
I figured that out.
Yeah, because your ass was waiting here excited the whole time. Nervous, but excited. Doug, there's 10 different things I took to make sure that you were serious about the stuff you said.
What do you want me to do?
Well, the truth, for sure, but if I didn't think you were not able to get help, I wouldn't be talking to you this long. But the truth would be great. I mean, say whatever you want, but it's just so weird how what you're saying just is so different from reality. Not that I can tell anyone. My favorite part of the day is talking with a barely 13-year-old girl, LOL. I know how secretive things are. I think it's so odd that you were so young and interested in sex. I still can't believe this is happening. It's almost all I can think about. You wanted her to delete all the messages. Have you never looked at yourself in a bra and underwear? I'm sure you'd look very sexy. It's very similar. And he said, well, I'll give you lots of hugs and reassurance the whole time. You said you wanted to make her comfortable with this type of stuff. So don't pretend you're the uncomfortable one. You're uncomfortable because you might get caught. You're not uncomfortable doing this. I mean, this has been a thing for 10 years for you. If you want to look sexy and naughty, you can wear tight leggings without panties or a tight shirt with a bra. Doug, I'm extending an olive branch to you here to get it taken care of and to just tell the truth. Noel's your last name, isn't it? Okay. Truthfinder isn't hard to use. I knew your address the whole time. I knew you were sitting there with images you shouldn't have had the whole time. I was going to see how for real this is. You think I had to wait a month for this shit to happen?
I'm sorry, what?
You think I had to wait a month for this shit to happen? For this to happen? I could have just gone to your apartment before you moved.
And what?
Talk to you about it there. But I wanted to, because there's some people who are just online dweebs, and there's people who are just kind of for real about it, and there's people who are just evil about it. You're not evil at all, but you're for real about it. Well, if she was provided, she was okay. You know how I said I don't think you were going to force anything here. I believe that from the very start.
What kind of help can you get me?
Well, I think internet addiction is a big problem.
Okay.
Okay, but what was actually going to happen here, man?
What kind of groups? I mean, are there groups for talking? Is there therapy?
Yes.
What is there?
There is that type of stuff. Not the therapist you're seeing, but there's that type of stuff. But Jesus Christ, how can I? We need to be on the same page here, Doug. I literally took probably over 10 steps of assurance that this was going to happen today.
This is where I am, and
Okay.
I'm asking for help, and I'm
Okay.
telling you I don't know.
Well, do you want to help yourself?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think you really care as much as you claim, because the truth isn't even coming out. You're sitting here with a Plan B pill, and you're claiming it was just going to be hugging and kissing. Yes, I understand how it looks, but I also understand that what you're saying is so far off from reality of what was even happening in your mind. Doug, I gave you the benefit of the doubt up to the elevator. Even after the conversation with me as the lady, up to the elevator, I gave you the benefit of the doubt. As soon as I saw that smile, because I've seen that smile before in other people that were a lot worse than you, man, I always know what happens with that smile. I have that smile too when I see my girlfriend. It's been a while. I know that smile. That's the I'm about to get some smile. That's the I'm no longer an incel smile. That's the I can finally get off without having to use my hand smile. You're scared to tell the truth because you don't want to feel ashamed. We all understand this is hard to talk about. We are all not here to judge you. Okay. I'm more judgmental of things that go against reality than anything in reality. Okay. I'm not judgmental that you wanted this to happen, that you wanted, provided she was okay with it, your penis sucked, to take nude photos of her, all that stuff. You said yourself, I'll teach you how to suck a penis. Did you not?
I did, because I told her she could suck on a cucumber or something, and she's like, well, can we do something else? And I was like what?
And you said on yours.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm more judgmental of reality not being addressed than anything in reality. I don't care. Even if you just did something terrible to her, which I know you weren't going to do, I still wouldn't care.
Why?
Well, of course I care, but I wouldn't be judgmental. Excuse me. I'm more judgmental about just lying, just denying reality, Doug.
I guess what I'm saying is you're asking me to say something that I honestly don't believe to be true. And if you're right, I feel like I need help to talk to. I need therapy.
Doug, you're sitting here with a fucking Plan B pill, and you've been looking at child porn the past however many years. You've had this photography fantasy you talked about with so many underage kids. You were nervous about getting caught. You weren't nervous about doing this one bit because the smile was too big on the elevator. Something you don't believe to be true. You do believe it to be true, because I can see it in your face and eyes that you're ashamed of it. If you weren't ashamed of it, I wouldn't be trying to get it out of you so badly.
What do you get?
Because when the truth is acknowledged, I feel that there can be a step two, a Plan B, if you will. I can see it in your eyes how ashamed you are. You wouldn't be this ashamed if you were just going to hug and kiss and take regular photos. That's not the look of it. You weren't going to have that talk with her because you didn't mention it one time. You didn't mention it one time on the elevator. You didn't say, hey, I got to talk to you when we get to the room about something. Not one time. There's reality and what happened. Then there's what you're saying. Doug, we're not mad at you.
You sound mad.
Okay, well, I'm sorry if I sound mad. I guess it's just more disappointed that...
I feel like you want me to know myself.
I do.
And I don't know that I know myself.
Okay. Doug, if I thought you were going to do this again, I wouldn't still be talking to you. I know it could stop after today. It's going to need to take some help, but You had a fucked up childhood, man.
I did.
You had a fucked up childhood. It's not fair that happened to you. But don't pile on to the abuse you've taken by just not telling the truth. I know you don't want to abuse Ari, okay? There's a difference between consent and abuse, even if she's 13. I understand the law says what it says, but there still is a difference.
All I can think about right now.
Can you just tell me what you actually wanted to happen, Doug?
All I can think about right now is walking into traffic.
Okay.
I feel worthless.
Okay. Well, that's my point. You wouldn't feel this way if you didn't actually take a plan B to do the plan B.
If you're right, I'm a horrible person.
Doug, it doesn't matter what you are. I'm not judging someone for being horrible, because you can be horrible one day, be less horrible the next day, then a year from now you're not a horrible person. We've all done horrible things before, man.
Like what?
Like what?
I'm convicted for doing
He's a felon.
For what?
drugs.
Yeah, he sold. I didn't do any drugs. I punched my high school teacher in the face before. Him right here, terroristic threats, when he was 18.
So how'd you guys get into this?
Because we believe
Help people.
in second chances, man.
Exactly.
For sure. But but Doug, I mean, you wouldn't feel ashamed of yourself if you weren't here to do shameful things. That's your whole kink.
Yeah, you're right.
What were some of the shameful things you wanted to truly do? It's okay to indulge here. There's a reason we took your ass to this room. Well, we asked you to come here, obviously. But there's a reason we wanted to take it here rather than the lobby, rather than in front of everybody. Because we know the conversation wasn't about to be easy, dude. Duh. We know that.
Cute.
We know it wasn't about to be easy. But what I saw from this past month was a fantasy, was a taboo that he just needs help for. I mean, your abusive childhood, all of that stuff. But you need to tell me what was going to happen today, man.
I do.
I think so.
Why?
Why?
I mean, what? Why don't?
Because airing it out, because once it gets off your chest, it's out of your body, and we can work on rectifying it. But the fact that you said, "Why do I have to tell you what's going to happen today?" That already tells me there's more things that were going to happen today. Doug, it's not about me needing to. It's not about me needing to hear. I'm not sticking a gun to make you say anything. It's more of just.
I don't know.
Let's get deep. Let's get deep. Let's get deep. You're here with these three people you're looking at are the only people that are going to somewhat understand you. Okay, we're the only three people not going to judge you for this. So let's get deep and talk about what was really going to happen today. Everything you want it to happen. Okay. I know. Let me get this out of the way real quick. I know if she said stop, you would have stopped. Okay. If I thought you were going to force yourself onto her, fuck, I wouldn't waste my time with you. You understand that, right? Because some people don't need help. They need fucking trouble. I'm sure you agree with me on that.
You know what's funny? The more therapy that I do, the more forgiveness I have for fucked up shit.
Okay. Were you planning on forgiving yourself for something today? Or trying to? Okay. It's time to indulge about what you truly wanted to happen today, man. Truly. It's that time. The whole beating around the bush on both of our ends just needs to stop. Just tell me the full truth. What you really wanted to happen today. Because right now, this is your only chance to say it to the three people that aren't going to judge you for saying it. This is your only chance. because you're as sure as hell judging yourself for it. And I can't help that. I can't help that you're looking down on yourself for it. But you're not going to be able to live with yourself if you don't say it right now. You're going to be in shame. Not a good shame. You're going to be in shame, agony, pain if you just don't say it right now. You are looking at the 3 people that don't give a shit right now. Of course we give a shit, but we don't give a shit we don't give a shit how nasty it is, how shameful it is. We don't care. Because we've seen a lot worse. And you're one of the few who I believe can get some help for this. So it's time to just indulge, just say it, no matter how embarrassing it is. Because I don't give a fuck how embarrassing it is, do you? Do you care how embarrassing it is? We don't care how embarrassing it is, dude. We don't. But you need to say what you wanted to happen today, because there's no helping the lies. There's only helping the truth. Floor is yours, Doug. You know what I'm going to do right now? That was weak. Putting all those away, because we can just talk man to man about this. I don't need my proof or any of that bullshit. Floor's yours.
Why don't you 3 of you, you say you don't judge me, you don't care. Why?
Why?
Yeah.
When I tell you why, are you gonna tell us truly? I'll happily tell you why. I don't care. Well, I'm just gonna say it.
Okay.
What were you gonna say?
It feels very surreal to me right now. Like
I understand.
I'm having an out-of-body experience.
Absolutely. And it's going to take this kick in the ass to change anything. You know that, right? So, and of course I'm not going to physically kick your ass, but you know what I mean.
I appreciate that.
Okay. The reason why we do care, okay? I say I don't care. The reason why we don't judge you is because, like I said, we've all made these, well, not the exact same mistake, but we've all had bad lapses of judgment. He was dealing for 2 years. He's had a lapse of judgment for 2 years. You've had a lapse of judgment for 10 years. I've had a lapse of judgment, spur of the moment, tons of stuff. He had a lapse of judgment one time with his friends where shit went down. Okay? It's all different. We don't stigmatize you differently because you've had a lapse of judgment. But all I know is all 3 of us were able to, yeah, at first, where we fucking, no, I couldn't, no. At some point, and took ownership of it. This is your one chance to take ownership of what was truly what you wanted to happen today, because I already see it in your eyes. You want to say it, okay? Even if you don't say it, we're not mad at you. Don't think you have to say it for us. Say it for you. Say it because you want to say it. Say it because you give a shit about yourself. Say it because you give a shit about your kids, because you're supposed to be a father figure and a man to them. I don't know if you're going to tell them about this or not. I'm not going to check on that. That's your business. But
I just assumed you were going to tell everybody in my life you got cameras on.
you kidding me? That's for safety reasons.
What safety? So I don't attack you, or what? I mean, what?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. I know I'm a big guy, but you never know, right? It's time for you to say it, man. What is it? You're going to feel a lot better after you say it, I could assure you. Because the few people that I believe could get help, yeah, they were acting like you, beating around the bush. They ended up saying it. They felt much better for it. What did you really want to happen today, Doug? I threw the chats away because I don't care about those. I care about Doug.
You're going to think it's stupid, and you're going to say you don't believe me.
Go ahead.
I wanted to tell her that I loved her.
Okay.
And it sounds stupid to me just saying it out loud.
No. Why did you love her?
Because she asked about my day. She talked to me. She made me feel cared about. And it was the insanity that someone that young, like, I couldn't get that from somebody. I've tried so hard.
When's the last time you were cared about like that?
It's been a while.
Okay. So it wasn't really her age, it was just her, the person.
She talked to me. She cared about me. She asked, "What are you doing right now? What are you, what are you eating?" Like, she fucking cared.
I understand.
And what it felt like when I was talking to her, she didn't believe me she's like, "What are you?" I'm like, I said the thing I'm most excited about is kissing you. I wanted somebody to hold and snuggle with and say I love you too.
Okay.
And
Now let's talk about the other stuff.
if she had wanted to do things, I don't know. I might have, but it wasn't what I wanted. And I know I brought the shit because I was trying to make her happy.
Did she ask for a Plan B pill, or did you suggest it?
I don't know, but I wasn't.
I don't think she knew what a Plan B pill was.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna get involved in it. I wasn't. Yeah. I mean. Yeah.
Okay, so now that I realize it's more of an emotional connection than a physical attraction, I love my girlfriend. We do stuff every time we're together. The stuff she wanted to do. What were you wanting to do with her? I think a lot of it was that you were kind of there for her, teaching her because she cared about you. That's my opinion. Am I right?
Most of that shit I said because I've heard other girls say that that's what they wanted, and I thought she would want that, and
So you wanted to make her happy.
yeah.
Okay. So if she wanted to do those things in the messages, like take those photos, or first of all, would you have kept any of those photos?
No.
Okay. So she won't. Good to know. That's a big step from, right? So if she wanted to take those nude photos, if she wanted to learn how to suck on your penis, I don't know a better way to say it, sorry. She wanted to suck on your penis, get touched and stuff like that, take nude photos, would you have done that, not for you, but to make her happy?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Did you just want to maybe please her today in any way she wanted to be pleased?
I wanted to make her happy.
Okay. So if she asked you to do that stuff that was talked about in the messages, would you have obliged to make her happy? Maybe not sex, but the nude photos and the learning how to suck a penis.
I would have asked her if she wanted to start with the bikini.
Okay.
I had looked for a changing facility because
This really seems like more of a person you loved than a sick fantasy. Okay. So the sexual stuff, like learning how to suck a penis, if she wanted that, would you have done that to make her happy? Because it seems like what you wanted was just for her to be happy. Mm-hmm. Okay. So if she wanted that stuff, would you have obliged to make her happy? Because obviously I know you weren't forced anything on her.
I don't actually like blowjobs.
Well, it doesn't matter. I mean, well, that's irrelevant. The thing is, would you have taught her if it would make her happy? Would you have taken those photos if it were to make her happy? Because I know it's not just for you. I know it's for her too. You wanted to tell her you loved her. Seems like part of that love was introducing her to stuff, teaching her about things she was curious about. Is that what you would have done? I'm not saying that in a bad way, I'm just asking you. Because I do want to get in your mind about what internet addiction, what loneliness can drive somebody towards. It's not about a haha gotcha. It's about what can this drive someone towards so we can get you help.
It feels very haha got you right now.
Well,
Can we turn these off?
yeah, sure.
Cold.
As Ben Shapiro says right now, you know, screw your feelings. You know what I mean? It's not, it doesn't feel like a gotcha. It's. I truly want to understand what's driven you like this. Was it childhood abuse? Was it all of this type of stuff, man?
Just neglect.
Neglect. So did you want to be in a role for her that you never had as a kid?
It's funny, I fantasized recently, I don't know, about meeting her and sitting her down and saying, you should find somebody your age. I actually had that as a fantasy.
That doesn't coincide with you saying you love her.
Why not?
Because if you're in love with somebody, you don't want them to go to someone else.
Oh, I don't think that's true.
And it's true for everybody I know. Okay, well, sure, that's a fantasy. Okay, whatever. I can't dispute or confirm that.
You said you wanted to I can't.
Yeah, I got
You
you.
wanted me to be honest. I'm trying to reconnect here, dude.
Okay.
I'm really trying. I'm trying to tell you where I am, and I know what you see and what you saw, and I know what you're saying.
Well, I'm asking. You said girls have been into this stuff before that have talked to you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, talk to you as the mom, or that's not the mom, but the that woman on Whisper. I don't doubt that you wanted to make her happy. I think you would have done those things, not for your own pleasure, not for your selfish pleasure, but to make her happy. Take nude photos of her if she wanted to. Let her give you a blowjob if she wanted to. Even have sex if she wanted to. You didn't bring the plan B for yourself. You brought it for her. You brought the vibrator for her. Unless you put it up your butt. I mean, that's your own thing, but I don't think you do.
I did think about giving her the vibrator to take home with her.
Okay.
Because I felt like I owed her. Does that make sense?
Owed her, like, in what way?
Well, she had said something about, you keep changing your mind on me.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt bad about that.
Okay. But she also told you it was okay to not do any of this stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And you still kept pressing it. But again, I don't think you were going to force yourself onto her. Can you see if they have fried cucumbers downstairs?
Fried cucumbers?
This is how I say fucking Lay's chips.
Oh.
Yeah. But yeah, obviously, you know, I think I don't doubt you were going to tell her you were going to love her. And I think that's what a majority of it was, man. Just out of love. What are you doing?
I have a text from my kid. Sorry.
Okay, it's okay. I think the majority of it was just because you loved her. And I think you wanted to do this stuff with her as she wanted to do with you because you loved her. Not because you're some sicko. No. Because you have a daughter yourself. That's you wouldn't do that. I'm going to ask you again, man. You wanted to bring her you wanted to give her the vibrator to take home. All of this type of stuff. I know that involves having her use it here. You would have at least asked her to try it here.
I don't know, I kind of thought it was just a consolation prize.
In what way?
Well, I'd forgotten I had it, and then I saw it yesterday, and I was like,
Okay.
Maybe I can give this to her and she can take it home.
Did you ask if she wanted to use it yesterday?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
But I don't know, it's hard to.
All right. So, I mean, Doug, man to man, dude, for whatever reason, if she wanted to experiment with some stuff like a blowjob, the vibrator, the nude pictures, now from what you're telling me, I think you would have obliged by it to make her happy, to do what you wanted to do what she wanted to do without any force. Am I correct about that?
I don't know, maybe.
Do you think it's a possibility that you could have obliged and made her happy with that type of stuff?
I don't know. I really gotta pee.
Go ahead.
Thanks. Sorry, you get caught.
Yeah, we'll turn it back off when you come back here.
No, it's fine. I stand farther away from it.
Okay. Such a lying piece of shit. Literally piggy teeth. Bro, I'm so sick of it. Here we go. It won't? Oh, it didn't?
It's like it doesn't work.
It doesn't do what?
Like if the light's still on, or it doesn't show like here you can.
Did it show on there earlier?
Yeah, I did.
Well,
Is the light still on? Or no?
on this, no.
Oh, okay.
The mine's still on?
Yeah, yeah.
Just wanna fucking suck in the face.
So cold. That's fine. That's fine. I'll sit over here.
Sure, you wanna take a seat? Alright.
Just kind of.
Alright. I appreciate how honest you've been. See, I really don't bite, man. Did I call you any names? Okay. Do you have any food down there?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, well, I guess I'll have it later. Alright. Spill the rest, man. You know, it's that time
I honestly don't know, but I'm afraid that I might have
that you might have,
done things that she asked me to.
like, fellatio and that type of stuff.
Yeah, probably heavy petting.
Probably what?
Heavy petting.
What's that?
Touching.
Oh, okay. Like y'all's penis and vagina?
Well, like, no, like hands.
Breasts?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I don't know. I
Well, let's kind of rewind. Do you think you would have had sex with her today?
no.
Okay.
No.
Do you think the limit would have been just maybe a blowjob if she was interested in that?
I think even if she was interested in that, I would have had her try it on the vibrator instead and just taught her how to do it. But
So this girl you love, who you've masturbated to multiple times, you would have just taught her how to give a blowjob on a vibrator?
yeah, because I thought that, because I was thinking, this is,
So you would have touched her breasts, but you wouldn't have had her suck your penis, but you would have taught her how to suck a penis on a vibrator? I mean, Doug, it's okay. It's just tell the truth.
I am. I know I didn't say those things, but I was thinking them. I've been thinking them.
Okay. So as for the nude photos,
Yeah. I would have told her I don't think that we should be doing that. Because I don't think, I thought when we first started talking, she was a beautiful girl, and I thought that those could be a part of her portfolio, and I kept thinking, how could I ever do that and also know that I did something like that with somebody? I don't think I could.
because you're into shame. That's why. You said yourself you'd get rid of them if she wanted to get rid of them. You said you wouldn't share them with anybody.
That's an insightful thing to say. I don't know.
Okay.
That's not what I was thinking at the time.
I'm asking you
I know.
if she wanted to take those nude photos.
I think that would have been a boundary for me. I don't think that, you know.
So you're saying all that would have happened is you would touch her breasts, or she would touch you, and you'd hug and kiss, and teach her how to suck a penis using a vibrator? Is that what you're saying?
Maybe. Honestly, I think I just wanted someone to hug.
Yeah, Doug, I think I'm gonna have to play your phone calls. Because it's just not the truth. You talked about having her use the vibrator last night. You just told me you were gonna have her suck her penis on the vibrator. You wanted someone to just hug. I don't doubt that. You said you were gonna tell her that you love her. Doug, I'm not saying it's the 13-year-old that turns you on. It's a taboo of it. Like I said, if you told me that that you got off from a woman yesterday, I don't think you do anything today, but it's also been so long. Doug, for yourself, you should just tell the truth about what you really wanted to happen. And that involves nude photos. I don't think it's keeping her nude that what you like. It's the fact that you're taking them, that fantasy of yours that you want to live out.
I think it was talking about it that
If it was just talking about it, you wouldn't have brought the camera.
the camera for.
If it was just talking about it, you wouldn't have brought the Plan B pill. You bought her bikinis.
Oh yeah,
I know.
she asked me to.
Okay. That's why I'm thinking you just wanted to make her happy. I think if she asks you to do all of this stuff to her that you talked about, like sucking on your penis, would you? That's what I'm asking you. I already know you would. I'm asking you if you would. I'm asking you if we're on the same page.
Do you see how that feels judgmental to me?
Yeah, but I'm not just being judgmental. We don't know each other well enough to be in sync with everything.
I mean, it sounds like you know me better than
Yeah.
I know you.
You can ask me anything. It's just the conversation. It's just the conversation with me as the woman that really did it for me.
Okay.
So, I'm just asking you if she wanted to If she wanted this blowjob to happen, I think it's more of you wanted things to happen if she wanted it to happen, and that involves anything. I think the act of making her happy is a turn on to you. Because you said you loved her, you obviously care about her, I'm not denying that. I think all of that is the reason why you would do the things that you talked about if she wanted to do it.
I get that. I see your perspective.
Well, there's my perspective, your perspective, and the perspective, the truth. Because obviously online, the whole conversations of, you know, you and a 13-year-old doing things together, that's been going on for years. For years. I mean, hasn't it? Just conversations like that of, I'm going to do this to you, that to you, whatever, blah, 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 blah. Then nothing happens because you were in other states or whatever. That's been a cycle over the years. Now it's finally happening because you showed up here, you brought the Plan B pill, you brought the vibrator, which was not in your bag, by the way. The vibrator was not in your bag, by the way.
It was in the plastic bag.
I understand. But the vibrator is something you weren't planning on bringing until yesterday.
Oh.
Unless you were planning on bringing it the whole time.
It was when I was packing the candy bag, I realized I had it.
Yeah. Well, basically, don't act like you couldn't take things out of the bag you didn't plan on bringing.
You're right. You're right about that.
I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt on even the Plan B pill.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. But I'm not giving you the benefit of the doubt on that. You can say you don't like blowjobs or whatever, but that was the main conversation point throughout the whole thing. Teach you how to do this, teach you that on the phone. Blowjobs were talked about a lot.
Yeah, no, because I thought that was something she wanted. You're
Oh,
right.
okay. So that's what I'm going to ask you again. If she wanted to do it, is that what you would have done to make her happy? So is it a possibility?
Everything's a possibility.
Is that a possibility?
Yeah.
You don't know. If she asks you, can I practice that blowjob thing on you? Because I mean, we both know realistically, like, what would have actually happened is one of you guys says, "You ready? Are we going to do it?" And the other would want to say, "Okay, we can." And then obviously all the shit would have happened. That's what was obviously going to happen. But you know, I mean, that's just the obvious truth that could have been said in 10 seconds of us meeting. But like, I mean, we both know that. I mean, we can both cut that facade as if that wasn't going to happen. The whole 9 yards. Did you just nod your head? You just nodded your head at that. I mean, realistically, Doug, we all know what was really going to happen. Is you come to the hotel room, she comes into the hotel room, one of you asks, "Hey, you ready to take those photos?" Or I think the sex thing was talked about first, before the photos, as what y'all were going to do. Yeah. I mean, obviously, what was obviously going to happen is you guys both come in here, take off your clothes, and whatever she wanted to do, you would have done. That's clearly what was going to happen. But I guess if it helps you more, I'll ask about each specific thing rather than just the obvious truth, if that makes you more comfortable. But yeah, I mean, duh, you were Talked about it the whole time. She was okay with it. You asked, to your credit, you asked her if she was okay with it, which I respect the hell out of. You're up here in the hotel room. You come up the elevator. You were bewildered when we said the 4th floor and we came on the 2nd floor. Yeah, you had it made. You were set. I mean, duh. You were planning this day for so long. You booked the hotel for a reason. I mean, that's obvious. I mean, I wish we could just talk on that level of just honest friends about this. Like, yeah, obviously we're gonna come in and get naked, as was she. That's the obvious truth. And we're gonna do stuff together. Hug and kiss, absolutely. You were gonna tell your lover, I don't doubt it. The vibrator, all that stuff. Obviously that was gonna happen, Doug. I mean, that's obvious. Because you're a guy and she's a woman. Well, person you like and that loves you back, or you love her. That's obviously what was going to happen. Because it hasn't happened to you in a year. You have a taboo kink, and here you are. Duh. Of course that was going to happen. But we have to have these bullshit hypothetical conversations because this is the first time in your life where you had to face the truth about yourself. Yeah, me posing as a woman online. You wanted this so badly, Doug. You even talked about with me as a woman, is this okay? To reassure yourself that you could go through with this.
Why did you reassure me?
Why did I reassure you?
Yeah.
Because, Doug, when we've seen that you've been online for years doing this has always been something you wanted to do. At that point, a little flick was nothing.
But why not encourage me not to?
Encourage you not to?
Yeah.
Because we know Ari's not going to actually get hurt. If this was somebody that we...
No, but I mean, like, why not? I'm just...
That's fair, yeah.
why not say, hey, you know what, maybe, no, here's some resources. Does that not work?
It wouldn't have worked because you've had 10 years to take that step, and it involves being here to do that.
Jesus.
Yeah. So that's why I found you as the woman, or you found me, whatever. It was a matter of time before one of us found each other. So let's just be actually truthful, rather than, oh, I would have hugged and kissed and done this. We both know you would have walked in with her, taken off y'all's clothes, done whatever the hell was talked about in there, whatever she wanted to do, of course. I'm very, very adamant in the fact you wouldn't have forced yourself. But, I mean, obviously you would have just taken off the clothes, and she would have taken off the clothes, and you would have had those closed, and some shit would have went down. Duh, I mean, I'm talking on a guy-to-guy, we both have penis and balls level here. I mean, yeah. Did I take the extra reassurance to let you wait here for 2 hours? Never did you say, we shouldn't do this in the text at all. Never. Never. You're good. So what was actually going to happen? I get you were going to tell your lover. I get the vibrator was going to be used somehow. But Doug, you're a guy. You had a plan B. I talked to you as that woman online. 10 years of this shit. A taboo kink you could finally live out. You haven't had sex or whatever the heck in a year. A little bit over a year. Let's just drop all the hypothetical shit and just talk about reality. I know it's hard for you to face it. It's not your fault. It's just your whole life is revolved around shame and delusion. It's not fair it happened to you, but it's not too late to fucking change it. But it's you need to change it right now. if you care about yourself, you would change it right now. So what was actually going to happen, Doug? This is the time to say it. I don't care how much shame it is, man. I really don't. You're gonna beat yourself up more over this if you lie. Floor's yours, man.
If that's true, why don't I just walk out into traffic?
You have a family to live for.
Maybe they'd be better off without me.
So is it true then that it was just going to be a full-on indulgence of this taboo?
I don't know, but I'm afraid of it being true. And I feel like a worthless human being.
You're afraid of it being true. No. The question is it true? I mean, obviously we're all guys here. All of us are smart guys. Is this going to be another year, another day of delusion for you, or is there going to be finally the truth that's going to set you free, Doug? The Plan B pill, the vibrator, the being in love with her, the nude photos. Is this all just going to be another day of telling yourself that you can just continue to live this lie that you live, or are you going to just finally tell the truth to yourself, Doug? Are you just going to keep going down the path of harming yourself with delusions, or tell the truth to finally get it out of your chest, get it out of your system? You tell me, Doug. I 100% think even sex was going to happen.
Huh?
I think you just wanted to indulge. I think you just wanted to indulge, man. It was just a long time coming with this. And I think you finally found someone you love to do it with. I think you just wanted to indulge fully. You brought the pill. Do I think you were going to force yourself? Still no, absolutely not. I think you were just going to indulge, man. I think you were just going to do it. If she wanted to do it, I think you would have just done it. Do I think you wanted to make her happy? Fuck yeah. Absolutely. I truly do think you care about her. I know you care about her. But do I also think you wanted this for yourself too? At some point, you're going to have to take responsibility that you did. And you do. You're not selfish, but you're not selfless. So yes or no, were you just going to indulge today in any way she was comfortable with? Huh?
No. I think I would have wussed out.
I don't think so. Wussed out of what exactly? Everything or just some things?
Sexual intimacy.
What's sexual intimacy?
I guess anything. I mean, I know you don't believe me, but beyond the hugging and kissing, I don't know. But
I don't think you would have wished out because you always wanted to do something like this. With someone young and innocent like that. It made you nervous, but it made you excited at the same time. Yeah, I don't think you would have wished out. I think you would have wished out if she didn't say anything. But she wanted to do it, and I think her wanting to do it would have been your last assurance to just go ahead and try it. What do you think?
I think I need help.
Well, I don't think you need help for something you were never going to do. I mean, that's just kind of counterintuitive. Kind of doesn't make any sense that you claim you need help for something, but you weren't going to do said thing you need help for. That's kind of crazy to me.
Why?
Oh, because you weren't going to do anything, Doug. You don't need help. What do you mean? You weren't. You can't even help yourself with the truth. Why do you think you need help? If you're just going to hug and kiss somebody, it's normal. Why do you think you need help? What help?
Because I was jerking off to the fantasy. I don't want the fantasy.
Yes, you do.
No, I mean,
You don't want that in your mind.
right.
Okay. Doug, you understand you showed up here after you talked about said fantasy to do said fantasy?
I understand I showed up here.
To do said fantasy, Doug. Of course you're going to be sexually intimate with her. Hugging and kissing, that always leads to more. Especially with a girl you love like this, who you jerked off to. Right? Oh, you should probably get it.
Hello, how you doing?
How's it going?
What's going on?
Basically, there's a situation here. I mean, you're not going to meet a 13-year-old girl again in a hotel, are you? Because your last time doing that?
Yeah.
Okay. And you're not going to send, I mean, are those the last penis pictures you're ever going to send to a minor?
I'm gonna talk to my therapist about all of this.
Okay. I mean, are you sorry for sending those pics to her?
I am.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you sorry for bringing a Plan B pill to go meet this 13-year-old? Okay. I mean, are you sorry for saying you were going to take nude photos of her? Okay. Are you sorry for wanting to hug and kiss her? Okay.
Let's go. We're not part of this video. Come on. You come with us. You come with us. We don't talk to you. All right? What's your name?
Doug, I have a bag.
That's fine. I want to talk to you first. We'll leave the door open. We'll come back and get where we got. Okay? Let's go with us. All right. You go with these guys and we'll talk. I don't want to be on film.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll talk to you. Yeah, that's fine.
All right. So obviously we're sort of blindsided here. We have no idea what's going on.
Right.
You know we can't arrest this guy based on this, right? You guys, you just can't just drop an investigation in our hands and expect us to do anything. We're going to ID him, and that's it. We're going to get all your information. Any evidence you want to drop to our department, by all means, we'll take.
Yeah.
But that's it. So we got really blindsided by this, okay? If you're going to do this again, I'm sure you're doing great work and stuff. You can't just call us, at 6:15 when the plan thing went at 6:10. You know what I'm saying? So let us in the loop next time, we can maybe help out and help a little bit. I know you're looking for views on your YouTube channel.
Well, that's not what it's about. We want this guy arrested, of course. That's what we're calling y'all. But
Yeah, we got to be looped in. We have no idea who you are. We have no idea who that guy is. I don't know if it's a prank. We don't know what
well,
that
it's
is going on.
definitely not. But
We don't know, so that's fine.
Well, yeah, we're here to
Totally
tell
fine.
you.
So one of the cops can come by. I'll get some information from you,
Okay.
ID and stuff.
Yeah.
And any sort of evidence or anything you want to get to us, that's fine. But we have to verify our own stuff. We
yeah,
can't
of
just take
course.
someone's word.
No, I
Okay?
understand.
All right, so you hang out right here.
Yep.
We'll be right back.
How often do people do this?
Do we do this? Oh,
The whole situation.
lots of times.
Yeah.
Like,
Caught a lot of people?
Yeah, we have like a lot of arrests in New York. We're from Texas, but we have a conviction in Montgomery County and like Buffalo.
That's your idea.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, even if y'all can't take him today, I just hope it gets investigated so something can't
Yeah,
happen.
as the other sergeant said, we ID him. Make sure he doesn't have any wants or warrants, right? You give us all the information that you have, right? If there's video evidence, whatever you want to send to us,
there is.
send it to one of the other guys' emails.
Okay.
And we'll take everything.
Okay.
It just, as he said, it doesn't mean this second.
Oh yeah, no, we're not expecting that one way or the other.
And then you could detail to one of the officers exactly what happened, situation you set up, everything like that.
Okay.
Which I'm sure you've done before.
Yeah. Yeah, he brought a camera to go take nude pics of a 13-year-old.
Now you contacted him how? Like through
Oh, we were posing as a said kid, but it was through Instagram and Telegram.
Instagram too, and Telegram?
Yeah, it's like another app.
Huh?
But yeah, he said he wanted to. He claims just to hug and kiss her, but he said he's talked to hundreds of minors online before and receiving. Yeah, he's a sick fuck.
Okay. It's all digital evidence, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
You have everything.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we can get everything to you guys by like tonight.
Communications.
Yeah.
Okay. Video.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The video's going to be too big to send by email, or you
No.
want a thumb drive or CD, or?
No, we can send you guys a link to it, and basically the link is downloadable.
Okay.
Alright, what's the address?
This is.
Yeah.
So this. Oh, that's just some of his. Hey, so what's up? It's a few hours till our next catch. So they took his bag for evidence, as you guys saw, and they're actually taking him to the station for further interviewing. So, yeah, that's good news. So hopefully he gets arrested. But anyway, I'm enjoying this bed right now. Probably gotta get out of here.